But it was, it was tense all week. I mean, just trying to do some things and to keep this team. This is a good football team. It just has to start believing in itself and knowing that it can make plays. We had to make some adjustments as this week progressed, and it was in all phases of the game: offense, defense, and special teams, and all those things we looked at, we addressed. And the players, I always looked at how the players respond, and they took it to heart what we're trying to get done, and it turned out with a good outcome. So pleased with the outcome.
How would you grade Dunn's performance? He had the first 12 passes today. Assess his performance.
I thought Eli did a great job. I think that was evident. What was good about it is I'd go back. Really, what stood out to me was the protection. Our protection was good for Eli. He had to stay in the pocket longer. He held it a couple times, but that allowed guys to get deeper downfield. So between the offensive line protection and then Eli's reads, he got the ball out. We got to the perimeter, in our run game, on those bubble passes, those types of things. So all those things allowed us to throw the ball downfield and keep Missouri State off balance.
When did you decide that Eli was going to start?
Probably earlier in the week. There's a lot of things that went into that, not just moving Eli ahead of Aaron. It wasn't that as much as there were some other things that we were considering and trying to do. So I just thought that this was the time to make a move. And again, Aaron is banged up a little bit too, so there was a lot that went into this, not just moving him ahead. So, and then Eli got his opportunity, and what I liked about was how the receivers stepped up their game and the offensive line stepped up theirs. But that's one, and now we'll move forward and get ready for the next one.
What also seemed pretty evident to me was not only the receivers catching it, but also third down conversions. Did you pick up on that as well, especially in those middle ground situations, middle of the field?
Exactly, and that kept drives alive. He actually, I think on the third drive, he kept the drive alive. He moved out of the pocket and then threw the ball for the first down. So we were in good position. Our second down situation, our third down, it wasn't 3rd and 14, 3rd and 15. It was more manageable at 3rd and 6 and 3rd and 4s, that type of thing. And because of that, that allowed us to really be multiple. You could have ran for it as much as passed for it. So when you do that, you can keep a defense off balance.
Your team knows where they stand right now. They know what they have to do the rest of this year. What's that say about them coming out this week as loose as they have under that kind of pressure?
Well, that's credit them. I mean, that's how they come to work every day. I mean, it's you try to build this thing that, we've stubbed our own toe. We've done our own things to ourselves, and if we can just play smart, and that's the key right now. And we played a lot smarter today. We still made some dumb errors that we need to clean up, but at the same time, we were smart for the most part, and technique fundamentally sound. Execution was good. I wondered there after the first drive when we blew the first snap, man, but it was bite your lip and live through Eli's first down. And it paid off long term. And so I just think we're stronger because of it, but there's a lot of work to do before we line up again.
With as well as he played, when Aaron is completely healthy, do you go back to Aaron, or do you have to stick with Eli here now?
$25 million question, isn't it? I'll evaluate that when I get there. Eli played exceptional, and he should. I'm sure you guys are going to talk to him. He should enjoy the heck out of it. His first start as a Panther, tremendous football game. Man, he ought to call up the offensive line, how they protected for him, and the receivers got some balls for him. But man, Eli just ought to feel really good about his first start, because you just saw what I thought was a very calm demeanor for the guy in that situation, even as big as this game was, like you said, that he went out there and performed. But I think he had the sense of ease because he was surrounded by the players that lined up and played hard. So well done by Eli.
With all that said, how important do you think it was that this game started with the defense establishing its name and repertoire from the get-go, from the first play of the game?
Oh, that was huge, because we deferred, and I really didn't want him to take the first drive. I would prefer our defense put him in good field position to get the first drive, and he had good field position on the first drive, and then we didn't score. But ultimately, his second drive, he made some good throws, and I think the short passing game opened up our run game and thus opened up our long balls. And he used them all. He used all facets of our offense today, and it was not. You can call a game when a guy can do that, and Eli did that today.
Overall, what was the biggest difference between those games that were those fourth quarter, last second losses and the team you saw out there today?
I don't know. I just saw in the second half, I just wanted to keep the drives alive. I really wanted to keep the pedal on the gas in the first half and not go into halftime. So we tried to play all the way to the whistle, all the way to halftime to try to score before we went into half. And then what I really wanted to see was in the second half to stay away from some of the penalties, because the penalties is where I say we didn't do some smart things. We had some fouls that will hurt you in a very close football games, and we still had those fouls in the second half. So that needs to be addressed. But as far as their play, their temperament, their execution, all phases I was very pleased with.
And speaking of those fouls and little things that can affect the bigger picture, next week, obviously, you're not going to be given